Welcome to the Make Your Own Game on Steam Deck tutorial. We're gonna make a video game on the Steam Deck using Unity Game Engine and Visual Studio Code. I will show you how to configure both of those. I will then show you how to make a basic walking simulatory game. We will then see how to build that game and deploy it on the Steam Deck so you can launch it straight from the Steam Deck interface. And yeah, what are you gonna need? You're gonna need a Steam Deck. You will need a micro SD card that's at least 64 gigabytes in size. Mine is 256 gigabytes. You are gonna need that in order to store all the files that we're gonna be using, because some of them get really big. And if you have the eMMC version of the Steam Deck, you just won't have the space for this. You will need a Bluetooth keyboard, and you will need the power cable to your Steam Deck, otherwise you're gonna run out of the battery. I'm not gonna say really fast, but it won't last more than an hour, I would think. Okay, so I have my Steam Deck freshly installed. You don't need to have it freshly installed, but I do because I've been recording this about 3 million times and I need to start from fresh every time, so there you go. The first step we need to do is obviously pair the Bluetooth keyboard to the Steam Deck. I will start by turning on the Bluetooth keyboard. YOLO. And then we go into the Steam menu, go down to settings, go to Bluetooth, turn on Bluetooth and show all devices. And then I hold the number 1 button down for 5 seconds so it enters pairing mode. And as always, Bluetooth will find everything under the sun apart from my keyboard finally. Et voila. Cool, with that out of the way. Now we need to restart into Steam Desktop mode. So to do that, you can press the escape button on your keyboard and go to power and go to switch to desktop. The very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to install OBS on this thing so I can record its screen so we don't have to watch through my phone's lens. my overhead camera's lens. To do that, fairly straightforward. You go and press this third button on the bottom of the start bar. This is the SteamOS App Store per se. That's not entirely accurate. Technically, it's the Flatpak App Store, but let's not get into that right now. You tap the search bar at the top and type in OBS, press enter, and then just hit install. A lot of this is very straightforward. It's a really well-made device. While that's happening, I just realized I forgot to put in my SD card into the deck, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that now. Make sure your SD card is formatted to work with the Steam Deck, because otherwise it's not very useful to you. OBS has finished installing. I press the start button and type in the search bar OBS. If I can type correctly, hit enter. OBS has started for the first time. Let's configure it. Go to settings, go to output, click browse, scroll on the left all the way down to removable devices. This is going to be your SD card. Yours might be named differently. Mine's called primary for some reason. And in here, click this button and call it recordings. You'll find a lot of things on Linux don't usually work the way you want them to, so you have to find creative workarounds to everything. For this one, since it just won't open the folder, what you do is you go up here, and when you click this, it will give you the full path. Control-A to select the whole thing, Control-C to copy it, close out that window, and then go here and just Control-V, and now you have the path correctly set up. Click apply. And the last thing we need to do is tweak the video settings. The base canvas resolution is the Steam Deck screen, which makes sense. The output scale resolution should be the same, so we're just gonna change that. And then recording at 30 FPS is fine. I'm not bothered with it being at 60 FPS because I'm just recording a tutorial. You could set yours to 60 FPS, but be aware that it's gonna use more resources. Apply, okay. In here, we're gonna add ourselves a source, which is the screen. So screen capture. I leave the name default, I don't mind. Yup, that's all fine. And there we go, we're ready to start capturing. I'm gonna turn off the Steam Deck microphone because I don't need the microphone sounds when I'm recording this. Goodbye. and I'll press start recording. Now, with all of that magic set up, I do not need the overhead camera anymore because I can just show you on screen. The very first step on our journey is to install Unity, of course. Now, there's two ways of doing it. One that works and one that doesn't, and I know how stupid that sounds, but one of the cool things about the App Store on the Steam Deck is that you can actually install Unity through it. So if you click on the App Store icon again on the top bottom, and then in here type Unity, you will see that it shows up, which is great. Unfortunately, this version of Unity crashes constantly. I tried it in a previous recording and it would just crash every few minutes, which made video game development pretty much impossible. So instead of using that, we will have to install it manually, which is not too bad. It's just that we have to use a slightly older version. Turn on Firefox, which is surprisingly not installed. Just click install if it's not. It will only take a minute anyway. Once it's installed, hit launch, type in download Unity Hub, enter, click here, and click download Unity Hub. And we'll quickly download it. Click on the folder icon, so it opens it in the folder. You don't want to run it yet. Hit Control X to cut it, or you can right click on it with the left touchpad, and then hit cut with the right touchpad. Scroll down to your SD card, right click and create a new folder called Unity. Go into that folder by double clicking it and paste the file we have downloaded. This is basically a Unity engine download manager that will allow us to download different versions of the Unity engine. All you have to do now is run it by double clicking it. At the prompt, hit execute. At the prompt, hit continue. At the prompt, accept the EULA. If I can say EULA, then actually pay attention. I've just sold my soul away to Unity. And now we have the Unity Hub installed. The next thing that we need to do is Unity won't allow you to use it unless you have a license. First, it's going to prompt you that you are using an older version of the Unity Hub. This is fine. Like I mentioned earlier, the newer version that you get through the App Store is buggy. So we're going to continue using this. I'm going to hit don't show again because I don't care about their messages. And it's going to tell you don't have a valid license installed. In order to have a valid license installed, you need a Unity account. If you do not have a Unity account, I'm going to leave a link in the description to where to go and create one. You will need to go and create a Unity account in order to use this. I'm not going to go through that because it's a very next process. So do that, pause the video, create a Unity account, and once you're done, come back and we can continue. The next step that we do is click manage license, and it will tell us we're not logged in. Now, after you've created an account, you can click the login button and log in. After you've logged in, click activate new license, select Unity personal, and I don't use Unity in a professional capacity because we are not. We are making our own game for our own purposes. Click done, and it will assign you a license. I got the plus license because I'm paying for Unity, but if you don't have any other licenses assigned to you, you're just gonna get the standard personal license. Click on this arrow up here to go back, and now we need to install a game engine. Before doing that, we need to tell it where to install a game engine. So you click on this cog icon here, and in the paths, click the three dots. As you can see, this time it doesn't show us the SD card on the left. This is very annoying, and I don't know why it does that. But in order to get to it, what you want to do is click on other locations, click on computer, go to run, double click media, double click this weird name. Yours might be named slightly differently, but it's gonna be the only folder in here. So just go in there. And here we have the SD card. Go into Unity, create a new folder called engines, and then click select folder. Et voila. And now hit save. Click on the arrow at the top to go back. Go to installs. Click add. I'm just going with the recommended one. Click next. In here, I would suggest all you do is scroll down and deselect documentation, because the documentation is available online, so no point in wasting your hard drive space or your SD card space with it. Click done. And now we wait for the game engine to be downloaded and installed. Catch you in a bit. And we're back. Unity has finished installing the game engine. The only thing left to do is to create a new project and see what it's like. So hit new. Let's call our game, what do we call our game? Exploring Simulator. Yes, I know, I'm very creative. And then where do I want to put it? Well, I want to put it on the SD card with all the other stuff. So again, this interface. Again, we have to go to other locations. Again to computer. Again to run. Media. The only folder there, that's your SD card. And in here, go into Unity. And we want to create a new folder called Projects. Create, and then hit Select Folder. Fantastic. Then hit Create. And Unity will basically create our new project for us. We have to wait for it to start, so again, more patience required. Cool, Unity is done loading. It's gonna tell us there's a new version of the editor available. We're gonna skip that. Maximize the window, perfect. And let's test if it works. So, right click, 3D object, cube, and we have our first cube. It's very cube-like. See, you can select it, you can select out of it, very easy. And we also want to create a script. Right click down here, select create, select C# script. And let's call it move cube. And if we double click it, you will see it opens it in something called kwrite, which is not very useful to us because it does not have autocomplete of code. We're gonna close out of that without saving. And we are going to go into our next step, installing Visual Studio Code. Now, code is a little bit more involved to install, but I promise you the steps are really easy. Just follow along and I will put on screen what you need to type, if you need to type anything. Close out Unity, don't need it for now. Save the project, because I want my cube there. Fantastic. And then we go back to the App Store. At the top left, type in Visual Studio Code. Enter. And there she be. Install. While that is happening, actually, what we can do is we can open up the Start menu, and at the top, type console. Visual Studio finished installing, that's great, but we still need to do these steps anyway. And let me get my notes up, there we go. And in the console, we have to type in a few commands. Flatpak, no C at the end, just K, install org dot freedesktop dot SDK with a capital S dot extensions, again with capital E, dot mono 6. Enter. It will provide a lot of options. The one you want is the one that ends in 21.08, so make the relevant selection by typing in the correct corresponding number to it. Whoops. And press enter. Then hit enter again so it installs it. And then we'll need to type the same command again. You can press the up arrow on your keyboard and it will show you the same command. And instead of mono 6 at the end, we want .net. Hit enter. Again, it will find a few matches. The one you want is the one that the latest version of .net normal. So in my case, it's the 7th option because at the end it's 20.08. That's the newest version. So I'm going to select that. Hit enter. I see my problem. It's extension, not extensions. That's why it's showing me so many options. So I've remedied that. Again, to get to that, you just press the up arrow and then you have the command here. And you're gonna want to also install .NET 6. Press enter. You'll see there's two options. Select the non-beta version. So in my case, that's 2. Enter. Proceed with the changes. Yes. Or you could just press enter there. It doesn't make any difference. Okay. Now we need to go back to the App Store and we need to search for an application called Flat something. Just type in Flat in the search bar. Well, if you can also type it correctly, that'd be great. Not like me. And it's this Flat Seal app that you need. Install. Fantastic. Then press the start button and type in Flat in here and open up Flat Seal. Select Visual Studio Code on the left. Scroll down until you see the word environment. There it is. And in here, press the plus button underneath it and type in, without any spelling mistakes like I usually do, all capitals, flat pack underscore enable underscore SDK underscore ext equals, and now not with capitals, mono6 comma .net comma .net 6. This basically tells Visual Studio that it needs to use those packages that we've just installed. Very straightforward. You don't need to save anything or anything, just close out of Flat Seal. And that's it. The final step is we need to load Unity back up. So to do that, go into your SD card by opening the File Explorer, which is this fourth icon on the bottom. Scroll down on the left and go to your SD card under removable devices. Open the Unity folder and double click Unity Hub app. Execute. And there we go. Just open your project by clicking it. Wait for that to happen. Lovely. And now what you want to do is go into Edit at the top, scroll down until you get to Preferences, select External Tools, and in this first drop down, select Visual Studio Code. Wasn't that easy. If you ever have any problems with Visual Studio Code with it not recognizing your files, not recognizing the stuff you type, this button, Regenerate Project Files, usually fixes a lot of the issues. You can press it as many times as you want. It doesn't have any negative consequences usually. So just click this and then open up Visual Studio again, and hopefully all your problems have gone away. We can close out of that. And now we can just open the script. And as you will see, it will start Visual Studio Code instead of Kwrite, which is great. Select that you do trust the authors, because you are the author and you trust yourself. And then you will get this pop-up at the bottom that says, do you want to install the recommended extensions for C#? You should click install. However, if for some reason this pop-up does not appear or you accidentally close it, the way you get to the same thing is you press this button on the left called extensions. At the top, type in C# hash. There we go. It's this plugin by Microsoft. Click it and hit install. Now the problem is, this is going to install the latest version of that extension. However, we do not want the latest version of that extension because Unity is usually a little bit behind what the latest developments for C# and so on. So we're going to want to use an older version, and to do that, we click this arrow button here next to uninstall and click install another version. This pops up and we scroll down until we find 1.21.18 and select that. And it will install that version. Marvelous. Close out the Visual Studio. Open it again by double clicking the code file. Wait for it to install all its dependencies. This will only take long the first time, afterwards it's going to be really quick. And now, in here, if we start typing, for example, game object, you will see that it finds it automatically. Let's actually make the script do something instead of just random nonsense. So type for yourself as well inside of the script, transform.position equals transform.position plus new vector free of, let's say, 0.01 f0. What basically this does is every update, and the update is run constantly every frame. This code is run every frame. Every update, the script, the object that that script is attached to, get its position and increase it on the y-axis by 0.01. So if every update increases by 0.01, the object is just gonna start going up and 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 up. Control S to save. You can just close out of Visual Studio Code for now. In Unity, select your cube, scroll on the right hand side to the bottom, click Add Component, and type in the new window, move, and you can see Move Cube appeared. Hit Enter, and now it added your script to the cube, which means that when we run this, the cube should start going upwards. Hit the play button, and voila, the cube is leaving the building. You can click the scene tab as well to see it happening from a different angle. And in here you can just, this is the editor tab, you can just see stuff that's happening and modify the camera so you can look at stuff. Back in the game tab, you can see it's already off screen. So that's great. So far, what have we done? We've installed Unity, we've installed Visual Studio Code, we've created the cube that goes upwards. But this is not really a game. Let's make a fun game. It's gonna be fun for you, I promise that much. All well and good, cube goes up. Let's go to Firefox and type in here Unity Asset Store. Hit enter and just go to this first link. Even if it's the ad, it's exactly what you want. It's assetstore.unity.com. Accept cookies, reject cookies, I really don't care. What you're going to want to do here is log in with your Unity account, the same one that you logged in into Unity Hub that you've just created a few steps ago if you didn't have it already. And now that we're in here, we're going to want to get 2 free assets so we can create a cool game with them. The first one is type character controller. Hit enter. And then scroll down a little bit. You can do this by the touchscreen or using the mouse on the bar on the right. Click pricing and select free because we do not want to pay money. Then you will want to actually click on this first asset here. It is called the third person controller. Click that. And for you, it's going to be a button. This is add to library, not open in Unity. So you just want to click that button and then close this out. Next, in the search bar, you're going to want to find, just going to want to type fantasy landscape, hit enter. And it is this first result that you want. Again, click on it. And in here, it's going to show you again, add to library instead of open in Unity. Click that. And once you have added it to your library, go back in Unity, go to Window, Package Manager. In this drop down up here, select My Assets. Now, if you don't have a lot of assets, it will just show up in the list as I do. So all I have to do is go into the search bar on the right and type in fantasy. And I have fantasy landscape. Click download. Click import. And click import again. Wait for it to import. Then again in the search bar, delete fantasy and type in third. And there we go, starter asset first person character controller. Click download. Click import. Click import again. And wait. This one is a bit bigger as a package, so patience is key. it will ask you to restart because it uses a different input system. It uses the new, more modern Unity input system as opposed to the classical one. I have a whole video explaining why you should be using that input system. It is so much better, and how to set it up. I'll link the video here. I'll link the video here and probably in the description, so you can watch that if you want. But here I highly recommend you press yes. Save, always save. And now it's gonna restart Unity so it configures the new input system. So, okay, Unity has restarted. Close this package manager window, you don't need it anymore. The next step is to set up our game. Go on the left hand side at the bottom, go to Fantasy Environments, Environment, Scenes, and just copy the demo scene. Select it. Press Ctrl C on your keyboard, go to Assets, this is your root folder, and in here press Ctrl V, and there you go. Then right click, rename, and call it main scene. Lovely. And if you double click it, it's gonna open it. Now it's gonna look a little bit weird. You need to move the camera a bit, so tap on this hand icon up here and just drag it a little bit. And then with your right mouse button held down, you can turn the camera around to look at the landscape a little bit. But that's all nice and dandy, that's the landscape. We still need our character controller. So what we want to do for that is minimize Fantasy Environments and go to Starter Assets, go to Third Person Controller, go to Scenes, and double click this playground scene. It will replace our fantasy scene, we'll get back to it in a minute. But in here, what you want to do is hold down the control button and select UI Event System, Player Armature, Player Follow Camera, and Main Camera. Press Ctrl C, so you copy all of them at the same time. I press it multiple times just to make sure. Then go back to your Assets folder, double click Main Scene, click on the left hand side in this list, just in an empty space, and press Ctrl V. Boom! We stole a character. You can double click Main Camera and it will zoom in your view on the character themselves. Now, as you can see, the character is not particularly anywhere in the landscape. So to fix that, click on Player Armature, who's the actual character, and under Position, type in 200, 100, 200, and if you double click on him again, you'll see that it's placed way above the world and will be in somewhere in the middle. If I hit play now, I forgot to remove the other camera. My bad. Hit stop, select the other camera on the list, and just hit delete. Save everything by pressing Ctrl S. And now, when I hit play again, woo! And I can look around. I'm using currently, let me turn on the overhead camera actually, so I can show you. So I'm in game. I can move around with the Steam Deck joysticks. Run about. Look at stuff. Look at these plants. Jump. And it works from the keyboard as well. Voila. Video game made in a few minutes on the Steam Deck. And you can just enjoy. What have we done so far, and what do we have left? We've installed Unity, we've installed Visual Studio Code and configured it, proved that Visual Studio works, and we've made our first game. The last two things to do is to build a game and deploy it on Steam Deck so we can enjoy it from the Steam Deck interface. Let's build it. Stop the game by pressing the play button again. Go to File, Build Settings. Everything should already be configured exactly as we needed. Make sure all of these look the same for you. And then click the Build button. It's going to already be targeting our folder with our game folder, our project folder, which is good. We don't want anything else. In this folder, we want to click this button here to create a new folder, call it build. And after we create the folder and it goes into it automatically, we need to give our executable, our game build, a name. I'm just going to call mine the same. It does the project Exploring Simulator and press save. And that was it. Now we just wait for it to build. It's really that easy. It's not that easy. I forgot something again. Press cancel. It doesn't usually take effect immediately, so you have to wait a little bit until it cancels. Once cancelled, click add open scenes. You need that, because otherwise it won't add your scene, so it will start and just show you a black screen, which is not useful. And then click build again. Everything should be already configured, and just click save. And now wait. And now wait. Stop hitting stuff. Build is complete. We now need to add it to the Steam Deck library. To do that, Steam should already be running here at the bottom, so right click it. If it doesn't, just type start and type Steam, hit enter, and that will bring up the Steam interface. Go to games, add a non-Steam game to my library, hit browse, click on the drop down and select the / which is the root folder of your Steam Deck. Go to run, go to media, go to the only folder in the media folder. We are on your SD card again. Go to Unity, go to project, go to Exploring Simulator, go to build, and then from here, under file type, select all files and select Exploring Simulator.x8664. Open, add selected programs. Make sure it's there by just typing for it, explore, and there it is. And now all I have to do is restart my Steam Deck and go into the regular interface and play the game, which is what I'm going to do. However, because I'm doing that, I need to stop my OBS recording because this will basically restart the Steam Deck, so I can't keep recording. So we'll stop that. And we'll just rely on our overhead camera. Scary. I'm just gonna push it down a bit. I'm actually gonna, there we go. Start, restart, restart. We wait for the Steam Deck to restart. Waiting, waiting, and more waiting. All this video is waiting. Oh my god, I am still waiting, 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 waiting. It's been 6 million years and the Steam Deck has finally restarted. Jesus Christ, that took forever. Anyway, now that we've restarted into the Steam Deck, press the Steam button, go to library, go to the right with the bumper till you get to non-Steam. No? That's such a weird message, asks you if you want to install Chrome. I'm okay, thanks. So when you get to the right and you dismiss that message, you will find your game in here, and you can select it and then just play. It will download some dependencies if it has any. Woo! And there it is, our lovely little game that we just made. Sound and everything. Works flawlessly, and you can just go explore anywhere you want. Oh, actually, let me show you how to turn on the FPS meter. You just go press the 3 dots button, go to battery, and then just slide this over to 1. You can see the FPS counter is now at the top. And we are running at a cool 60 FPS. Whee! And that's it. Welcome to your first game made on the Steam Deck, for the Steam Deck, with the Steam Deck, in under an hour it seems. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hit like, subscribe, etc, etc. If you do make a project using this, please leave a comment with a link to it. I would love to see it. I really enjoy indie games and indie projects. Gee, what a surprise, right? And yeah, I'll hope you subscribe. Okay, catch you in the next one. Peace. I am frolicking for flowers, frolicking for flowers.